Okay, so we are back for the second installment of subcutting our fabric that we just cut from the yardage. So I'm going to turn you down here a little bit so you can see my work table. Okay, as you see over here, I've already got it laid out. I've got it up against my line on my mat so that's even. And I'm going to cut just the very edge off right here. So you can see it right there. I'm just going to cut this off right here to give me a nice straight edge to work with, okay? And then we're going to start subcutting. Now, the subcut on this is 2 5/8. I'm going to check my paper just to make sure. 2 5/8. So that's a little bit easier because then we don't have to go in between lines. So 2 5/8. So there's 2 1/2. Just go one more to 2 5/8. Okay? And so what I've done is I have actually put the two pieces together like this so that I'm cutting 4 layers of fabric at one time. And this helps to get it all cut faster. Okay, so there's that. And we're just going to keep on going. Just make sure you're taking your time because you don't have a lot of extra fabric. So if you mess this up, and I know all about that, then you're going to be coming up short, and you don't want to do that either. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do with this fabric once I'm done. Maybe I'll throw it into a scrap quilt, which I was watching the marine quilter the other day, and he was working on another scrappy project, and it was gorgeous. I absolutely loved what he was doing. Okay, as long as we keep this edge clean and straight, we shouldn't have to worry about where this fabric is at now. So each one of these is 4. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Well, we'll be back. 24, 28, and then we just need one more cut. So, 32. And that is 32. And we needed 32, 2 5/8 by 5 5/16. Okay, and we have a little bit left over, so if we mess something else up, we have a little more fabric to work with. Alrighty, so we're going to set these off to the side because these are also going to need to be subcut one more time. So as far as I know, no, I think there's some others too. So let's put this off to the side, and if you want to put the sticky note back on there just so you remember how wide it is. Again, pencil would be much better. I got both my pencils behind me. So this was 5 5/16. Okay, so we're going to set this off to the side because you never know, we might need it later. All right, hold on. We're going to get the next piece ready. Okay, we are back with the 4 1/2 strips. I have, well, thought I ironed out my wrinkle. Let me see, get that one more time. That's 1. That's 2. Okay. So we're going to layer those together. Now when we get to the end after we have cut out, because we'll be able to do 3 cuts, when we get to the end we'll need to open this up and then cut that again because we should have enough to make one more, and we're going to kind of need it. So let's line this up, make it look pretty. And I'm just going to trim off a little bit of the end, and just as little as possible, because even though you do wind up with about 1 inch to 1/2 inch afterward, you want to, not take off too much. All right, but you want a nice clean edge, so this will clean up your edge. All right. So we're doing 4 1/2 inch. There's one cut. This is 4. 8. 12. And then we're going to open these up. and lay them out. And then another 4.5. It gives us 2 more. So 4, 8, 12, that's 14. Plus I have 7 times 3, 21. And there's 8 plus 8 plus, actually I only need 3 more. 29 plus 3 more, 32. And there are our 32 4.5 inch squares. Okay. All right, there's that one. Now what's next? Okay, next we have our 5 3/16, and these also have to be cut into squares. And again, I have a nice little piece there that I need to get out. Where's my iron at? Well, my problem is I've actually anchored my iron to my ironing board back there, so let's see if I can get it to come over far enough. Yep, just makes it. Okay. What I've done is to keep the cord off of the table, I put it on a little loop or dolly or pulley. I put it on a little pulley so that it would stay off the table and roll back off the table once I pull it up. And so it doesn't give me much room to move over here. I'm actually kind of hoping that by the time it's time to do our class, I'll have a new iron. I'm actually looking at a couple of different irons. I really want one of the Oliskas. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. Okay, get that out of the way. And we want to clean up that edge just a little bit. Okay. Can everybody see okay? Okay, now we have a nice clean edge, and we are working on 5 3/16, so 5 3/16. So we're going to go between the 1/8 and the 2/8, and that should be 3/16. And again, I'm just taking my time because I want to make sure I get this right. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have it right between the 2 and the 1 and the 2/8, which makes it 3/16. And I made sure that it's straight across the bottom as well. And then we're going to make our cut. Okay, and so this is 2, so this is making 4 cuts at a time, and we only need 8. So again, we got 5 in between the 1 and the 2/8, making sure it lines up across the bottom. Looks good. And I'm going to make my cut. All right, and there are our 5 3/16, and we have 8 squares. And these will get subcut, but they are not going to get subcut until we actually put them together, because we're going to do half square triangles with another color. So set that off to the side and move that one. Okay, last fabric, and we need 8 of those, and this is 6 7/8, and we all know that this one is not big enough. It doesn't even go across there, so we're going to need a bigger one. Here it is. So I have another one. I do like Quilter Select, but I did find a product that you can spray on the back of your smooth rulers, and it will create that same kind of grippy thing that the Quilter Select has on the, well, not the same kind, I mean it's definitely different, but it is still works very, very nice, and I really like it. Okay, so again, we're going to work by taking off just a little corner, kind of clean this up a little bit. Make a nice straight edge according to what we have on here. And what did I do? There it is, sitting right there in front of me. Okay, let's get that out of the way. And again, I've got the numbers right in front of me, 5, 6, and 7/8. So we got one, turn it right way here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7/8. We're going to lay it down, make sure it lines up well, and then we're going to count it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7/8. There's 4. And then we're going to do one more. Don't forget to put the cover back on your rotary cutter. Okay, so finding the 6 and 7/8, line it up at the bottom, line it up with the 7/8. That looks good. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7/8. And cut it off. All right. And there we go. Okay, so this particular block is meant for the focus fabric, and it requires 2 each of these for one block, and that's why we have 8, because we're going to need 2 per block. There are 4 blocks, that's 8. But we're going to go ahead and subcut this. Yep, not big enough. We're going to subcut this one time into halves, because that's what this one requires, is halves. One of the other ones that we're going to do later on in one of the colored fabrics, it requires you cutting across and across one more time. But this one, because of the size, it's going to require us to use this part right here. So we're going to go ahead and cut all of those right down the middle. And that is it. That's all there is to this one. It is ready to go. So put that in your stack. And currently you are completely finished with subcutting your white. You should have everything you need to get started. And as I give you more instructions for what's going to be next and what your cutting instruction is for the colors, we'll keep coming back to it. All right. Well, I hope this helped. If you have any questions, you can email me. Look, I did it. Smiley, selfies typewriting. Okay. So you can send any questions to the gmail.com, srqquilter@gmail.com. I am going to post these to my YouTube, my SRQ Quilter YouTube. So you can pull them up there, and I'll see if I can't find a way to do the link to my Facebook and to my Instagram. So hopefully this works for you and it helps. Like I said, if you have any questions, just send them on to my srqquilter@gmail, or even on my Facebook, SRQ Quilter. It was a pleasure. This is always a treat when I'm trying to figure out how to do the cutting instructions, because pretty much every single time I do it wrong each time. So lesson learned, and I keep on learning. So you guys have fun, and I will see you soon.